At this point, I don't know if I can describe this as embarrassing or better yet, offensive.
There are still some people, even though everything is burning down around us, cannot see the flames, cannot feel the smoke or smell the smoke that is emanating from everywhere, and understands that it's not just the libtards, right? It's not just the lefties that are being impacted, but it's all of us.
Well, you know, a 90-day pause doesn't mean anything to anyone because people are, as you say, struggling with everything they're living with on a day-to-day basis. Now you know what we're fighting against. But I also believe that it's very important to remind people that now is the time for each and every one of us to suck it up and make sure that we know what we need to take care of. If you're in an area where the school district is losing, then you got to pay a little more taxes and you got to help the schools out. If you're finding that your libraries are falling apart, you have to give more.
So on one hand, the leader of the Democratic Party, supposedly Jasmine Crockett, calls her constituents libtards, while Whoopi Goldberg says, y'all motherfuckers need to pay more in taxes. So California says, or better yet, Gavin Newsom says, hold my beer. Or better yet, maybe it's more like bend over.
LA could soon increase by 54%. Today, 2 committees plan to hold a special session to talk about the proposal. The plan would raise fees for single-family customers from about $32 to almost $56. Officials say the hike is necessary to address inflation, the maintenance of vehicles and equipment, and overhead costs. If approved by the City Council, the hike would go into effect in the 2025-2026 fiscal year.
So Whoopi Goldberg says, you know, if your schools, libraries are failing, you need to pay more money. If you're in an area where the school district is losing, then you got to pay a little bit more taxes. And if you're in an area that's complete and absolute total trash, then yeah, expect your trash bill to go up a little bit higher too.
Then I'm passing gas station after gas station and gas station.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you're right.
Excuse me.
Gouging us. Oil companies are screwing us.
$4 a gallon in every other state.
Yeah.
$7 I saw here. Why is your state nearly twice as much?
As of today, I monitor this very closely. I just did a special session. We became the first state in the country to do price gouging legislation with a new monitor. Just went into effect. These oil companies are ripping us off. $2.
They're only ripping off California, though?
$2.06. This mystery surcharge that they've been advancing for years and years.
But the average around the country's $4, and I saw anywhere between $6.50 and $7.
$2.06 higher. You're absolutely right.
No, your state is much more than every other state.
Exactly. $2
Why?
higher. Because they're screwing us. There's no justification.
It's not regulation, taxation?
Yes. 85 cents. 85 cents. Low carbon fuel standard.
How much does California get per gallon for gasoline tax?
When you add the gas tax, you add cap and trade, and you add the low carbon fuel standards, and then periodically add, and I'm being as transparent as I can be, and you add our unique blend, you get a differential around 85 cents. That you can justify, not $2.06. That's where the oil companies
you should
are
be
screwing.
$1 more a
If
gallon.
you want to trust the oil companies, I can assure you, these guys don't have your back or the American public.
It's a mystery surcharge, and they're only gouging California. Clearly, this is President Trump's fault, right?
Donald Trump's tariffs do not represent all Americans. And on behalf of 40 million Americans that live in the great state of California, the tentpole of the U.S. economy, 14% of the U.S. GDP, the 5th largest economy in the world, the dominant manufacturing state in America. Our state of mind is around supporting stable trading relationships around the globe. And that's why today I've directed my administration to look at new opportunities to expand trade and to remind our trading partners around the globe that California remains a stable partner. When I say the 5th largest economy in the world, this is important to understand. We're the 10th of the U.S. economy. 14% of the GDP in the United States of America emanates from the state of California. We're the largest manufacturing state, $421 billion. The next largest state is Texas, and we're 41% bigger than Texas. We have more jobs, 150% more than the second state, jobs in forestry and agriculture and fishing. This state represents in so many ways, it's a microcosm of the United States of America. And so we feel these impacts in a profound and consequential way. The trade war that Donald Trump has just launched, because there'll be a reaction, there already has been a reaction, is going to be felt in pretty profound ways to real people, average people, including those that voted for Donald Trump, those that were betrayed by this very administration.
Enriquez with the California Department of Finance. So in the current year, to cover undocumented individuals in Medi-Cal, we're spending $9.5 billion total funds.
So it's not the $6 billion that people continue to talk about in the media. It's $9.5 billion.
It was a Budget Act number. This is a revised number based on the governor's budget updated estimates. So of the $9.5 billion, $8.4 billion is general fund.
I want to address the protesters for a moment, if I could. I think they were chanting, build the rail. It's been 17 years and $16 billion, and no rail has been built. So if you want to go protest somewhere, if you want to shout at someone, go to the governor's mansion. Go talk to Democrats in the legislature who have brought us this crappy project, right? So we've seen over the course of the last month what DOGE has exposed with regard to fraud, waste, and abuse. And we're done with it. And you know what? You're going to have people who love fraud, who love waste, who love trains to nowhere. But all of us up here, we do not love fraud, waste, and abuse. We are going to use the taxpayer money efficiently and effectively, and this is a boondoggle.
There are a lot of Californians that say, we have so many problems in our state. Look at homelessness, look at everything. What are you doing in China when we've got so much to deal with on our own soil? Well, what do you say to them?
Well, our soil is becoming aridified because of climate change.
We provided for hundreds and hundreds of thousands of full-time working women disproportionately, and particularly women of color, a significant wage increase, $20 minimum wage for fast food workers, the first in the country to do this. We have seen this sector not only lift people out of poverty, but also create over 10,000 new jobs, proving that you can have a growth agenda that also is focused on workers.
So Gavin Newsom claims you can have a growth agenda that's focused on workers as he touts false claims of a successful $20 an hour minimum wage hike raise for McDonald's and fast food restaurants, when the reality is 23,100 fast food jobs have disappeared from California since Gavin's minimum wage requirement increase. But it's not just Gavin Newsom. It's the Democrats in general trying to make it seem like all the terrible things that they're doing are great for everybody, either completely misconstruing the data and the numbers and the metrics, or just flat out bald-faced lying to folks. And here's another one. Chuck Schumer, though.
Donald Trump is now in retreat because Democrats in the Senate and the House and the American people have said, stop playing games with these tariffs. You think it's a game. You think it's like red light, green light. It's not, it's chaos. And the damage you have done already, despite today's announcement, is permanent and real and deep. You're throwing our whole economy out of kilter. You're telling business people and consumers to not spend because they don't know what the heck is coming out next. What you're doing, Donald Trump, is hurting the American people as you play games. Whatever pops into your head the next hour, the next day, the next week is what you say we're doing with tariffs. And they constantly contradict each other, make no sense, harm the American economy, and worst of all, American families.
And speaking of a walking contradiction, we've got Dave Portnoy here, who just the other day said he'd vote Democrat if the markets kept dropping.
Could you see yourself supporting Democrats?
Yeah, absolutely. One thing about me, which drives me crazy, I vote for Trump. I support him. I was never like some crazy MAGA guy. Like I look at each candidate and I choose who I like. I think the left and a lot of even what they did with, I want to say, hiding Biden's mental state and not having a primary really drove me to the right. So I am not somebody who would just strictly vote based on Republican or Democrat. I vote on the people running, how I think they speak to me, the issues that are important to me. But yes, I will vote how I feel is the best interest of what I believe in.
However, now singing a completely different tune.
I'm up 8.2 million today. And I bought at the low. I'm getting some stats. I'm stuck. All the left, they're going to run away. They're going to disappear. I got that guy from the West Wing. Let's see. The West Wing guy, saw him email me today. That wonderful moron. I'm going to bring this country together. I told you. I said, be patient. All right, this guy. Oh, that guy from the West Wing. Someone's going to crush on me. All these left people, you voted for this. Oh, he's crying. I'm dancing. I said it's a time to buy. I said give him some time. He's not a crazy person. And I want to keep buying. That's all I said. I go, don't pretend the stock market don't matter, because it matters. And by the way, Trump's not a fucking crazy person. He knows it matters. He's negotiating, but he gets it. He can't, like, the stock market is tied in with Main Street, Wall Street. Let it eat. Let me eat. And they let me eat. And I'm putting pizza burgers.
I lost 46K Wednesday. I made 50K Thursday. It was a miserable week. And here it is Friday. Let me know what you guys think about all of this. Let me know what you think about Dave Portnoy. Let me know what you think about Jasmine Crockett, Whoopi Goldberg, Chuck Schumer, Gavin Newsom, and anything else you'd like to share in the comment section down below. If you like the video, subscribe, check out the links, and I look forward to seeing you guys on the next one.